Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
And today, as we near the end of September, we are getting ready for autumn to come around and for winter to come around. And maybe we might want to kind of cuddle up with a book and relax and enjoy some literature. So in today's unit on literature, we are going to be talking about our featured book entitled Holes. Interesting. Holes. Have you ever heard of this book before, Stephanie?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
no.
We probably wouldn't read this ourselves because we are adults. This is actually a book for young readers, but it's also recommended for people who are learning English as a second or third or another language.
Yeah.
Like here in people in Taiwan, it's very common for people here to speak 2 or 3 languages before they start speaking English.
I know.
But in any case, the title of our book is Holes, and it's by the American author Louis Sachar, okay? And we'll talk about him in the second day. But today we're going to summarize our featured novel.
We sure are, but as we always do, guys, in our 3-day literature unit, we're going to read through the plot first, and then we'll be back to break it down and talk about some of these terms.
Stanley Yelnats is only 14 years old, but he's already lived a hard life. Falsely accused of stealing a pair of celebrity baseball sneakers from a charity auction, he was sent to serve time at Camp Green Lake, a juvenile correctional facility in Texas. The camp's warden orders Stanley and the other inmates to dig giant holes, and Stanley has a sneaking suspicion that the warden is searching for something buried in the dirt. Stanley's family members believe that their great-great-grandfather Elia failed to fulfill his promise to a gypsy named Madame Zeroni, who then cursed the entire family. The town of Green Lake seems cursed as well. It was once a town of breathtaking beauty. That changed, however, after the townspeople found out that a black man, Sam, and a white woman, Catherine, were in love. The locals forbade the couple to be together and attacked Sam. After Sam was killed, it stopped raining there, and the Green Lake dried up. Catherine's grief led to her becoming an outlaw, and she started to rob people. One of her victims was Stanley's great-grandfather, also named Stanley. She stole his money, burying it in town, and no one was able to find it. In modern-day Camp Green Lake, Stanley befriends a boy named Zero, who is Madame Zeroni's great-great-great-grandson. One day, they discover a suitcase buried in a hole with the name Stanley Yelnats on it. The warden tries to claim it, but she is stopped by Stanley's lawyer, who has proved that Stanley is innocent and frees him from Camp Green Lake. Stanley opens the suitcase and learns it belonged to his great-grandfather. It's filled with valuable items, and it seems that the curse upon his family has finally been lifted.
Okay, guys, we're going to talk about the plot of this story. The book is called Holes. The subtitle is Exploring Our Inner Treasure. When I see something that has that word inner, I think of inside something. So probably we're going to be talking about the treasure we have within us. You know, sometimes we talk about not judging a book by its cover. You don't judge people by their looks. You judge them by their character, their personality, how they treat other people. I think we're going to find out something about Stanley that's not obvious from his external looks. Let's see.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So the main character of our featured novel is Stanley Yelnats. Okay, he's only 14 years old, but he's already lived a hard life. Okay, lots of us kind of live sheltered lives, protected lives.
Easy lives.
We're fairly innocent. We don't really have many experiences. We haven't seen the hard side of life. We haven't had a lot of bad experiences. Some of us have, though, maybe divorced parents or family violence or something like that, or been the victim of some kind of natural disaster or something.
Or death, yeah.
Or death or something like that, yes. But in this case, Stanley Yelnats, well, he's already had a hard life. One of the reasons is he was falsely accused of stealing a pair of sneakers.
Uh-oh.
These are no ordinary pair of sneakers. It's a pair of celebrity baseball sneakers, and I guess he stole them from a charity auction. Well, no, he didn't actually steal them because it says he was falsely accused of doing this. So if you're accused of something, people say that you did this bad thing, you committed this crime. I accuse you of robbery. But here, he was falsely accused, which means he's innocent. And these are celebrity baseball sneakers. I guess maybe some kinds of sports shoes from a famous athlete who played baseball, like Derek Jeter or something like that.
Derek Jeter. Yeah. Maybe they had a pair of Derek Jeter's old sneakers, which are pretty cute, I must say. And a lot of times at these auctions, people will donate their products or goods, something that is valuable, so that a charity can make money by selling them to someone. So they're donated for free, and then someone pays for them. That's how the auction works at a charity auction. So he's falsely accused, so he didn't do it. He's innocent. If you talk about a celebrity, guys, it just means someone who is famous. They don't even have to have any talent. There are some celebrities out there like the Kardashians. They have zero talent. They're not even smart, Tom. They drive me crazy.
What exactly did they do to get famous?
They just are always seeking out attention, and people are now following them because they like to see what their family's up to. They've been on TV, one of those reality shows.
Isn't Paris Hilton kind of the same thing?
Yeah.
She's just famous because she's famous?
She's famous because she's famous. Well, these sneakers or tennis shoes, we'll also say that, or running shoes, athletic shoes, they were stolen by someone, but it wasn't Stanley. When you talk about a charity, it's an organization that tries to help people in need. Needy people, we'll also say. People who need a helping hand. And an auction is where you have items that you bid on. We've all been online. We've used eBay or different online auction sites. It's the same sort of thing. You bid for something, and the person with the highest bid wins.
Exactly. I've attended a couple of estate auctions. When my grandparents died, my grandmothers died, so they had estate auctions in the yard. People came over and bid on the stuff that we didn't want to keep. You know, of course, we kept all of Grandma's old antiques, but some stuff we just didn't want. So we auctioned it off, and this was a charity auction, so somebody was trying to sell these shoes for a high price, and then they would give the money to a charity, but he was falsely accused of this crime, so he was sent to Camp Green Lake. He was going to go there to serve time. This term, serve time, means that you're basically going to jail because of some crime. That's about the only place we use this term. And in this case, because he's only 14 years old, he's not going to a regular prison. He's going to a juvenile correctional facility. Juvenile or juvenile, you can pronounce it either way. That just has to do with people who are not 18 years old yet.
Right. And if you get in trouble before you are the age of 18, at least in the U.S., or before you're an adult, they try to keep you away from those really scary people in prison who are adults and who have committed crimes because they could possibly hurt those kids. It's still a tough place to go, though. It's a correctional facility, which means you're there because you did something wrong, but they're hoping that after you spend some time there, when you get out, you'll be a good citizen and you won't do bad things anymore. Well, the camp has someone who's in charge, the warden. We also call people who are in charge of prisons the warden as well, prison wardens. So the camp's warden orders Stanley and the other inmates. If you're in a prison, they call you an inmate. So he orders the kids in there to dig giant holes. This is weird. I've never heard of a warden wanting you to go outside and dig holes. And Stanley, he's got a sneaking suspicion that the warden is really actually searching for something and using the kids as labor. So if you have a sneaking suspicion, Tom, what does that mean?
It means you basically suspect this is true. You have a little bit of a suspicion. To suspect someone means that you think that they did this something, but you don't really have proof for it. Sneaking suspicion means you don't really know for sure. You have even less evidence, but you're still pretty sure, or you suspect that this probably is the case. And this warden is searching for something buried in the dirt. Buried here is the past participle of the verb to bury, which means you basically put something underground. If somebody dies, usually you bury the body 6 feet under. Or rabbits bury things in the dirt. Dogs like to bury bones, stuff like that. This is the dirt or the soil where they're buried something. And yeah, I guess why would the warden have these people dig these holes if the warden weren't looking for something? It seems kind of silly.
It seems very suspicious to me, too. Now, Stanley's family members believe that their great-great-grandfather, Elia, failed to fulfill his promise to a gypsy named Madame Zeroni, who then cursed the entire family. Now, a gypsy is someone who travels from place to place. They're called gypsies not just because of that, but they don't really have a home, and they also practice in different kinds of, I don't know, magical arts. What would you call that?
I don't know, vaudeville or something?
Well, they tell your fortune. They try to predict the future. And some of them believe that they can actually put curses on you, which means they can say some words and suddenly you'll have bad luck because you've done something they don't like. So supposedly a gypsy, this Madame Zeroni, cursed his entire family. So Stanley probably thinks, oh, this is why I'm having such bad luck. If you curse someone, there are two definitions. One is you just say really dirty words to them. You swear at them. We'll often say, oh, he cursed at me or he cursed me out. But here they're actually using curse to talk about a magic spell. Then they say these words and you have bad luck.
Yep, so they think that she's cursed the entire family because the great-great-grandfather, Elia, did not fulfill his promise to that gypsy. He didn't do what he promised her that he would do, and hence the family has been cursed generation after generation. Okay, well, that's the midpoint of our discussion for today. We're going to stop right now and listen to our Chinese teacher.
大家好，欢迎收听 English Digest， 我是 Trevor。今天我们要阅读的是 Unit 15 文学单元的第一天课程 Holes Exploring Our Inner Treasure。首先我们看到课文的第一段，本段介绍小说的主角 Stanley Yelnats。他虽然才14岁，但却已经过着十分困苦的生活。他因为被诬告而被关进少年监狱，在服刑的期间，监狱的管理人一直要 Stanley 和其他的囚犯挖洞。我们看到第一段的第二句 Falsely accused of stealing a pair of celebrity baseball sneakers from a charity auction, he was sent to serve time at Camp Green Lake,A juvenile correctional facility in Texas. 由于被诬告从慈善拍卖会中偷走一位名人的一双棒球鞋，他被送至绿湖营服刑，一间位在德州的少年监狱。本句的前半部分使用了分词构句，原来的两个完整句子是 He was falsely accused of stealing... 另一句是 He was sent to serve time in... 由于两句的主词相同，省略了第一句的主词 he， 又因为第一句是被动语态，所以 be 动词可以一起省略，只留下过去分词 accused， 然后再将两句用逗号连接起来，就成为了分词构句。我们再来看一个例子，原来的两个句子是 I saw the photo of my family 以及 I thought of my sweet home。两个句子的主词相同，都是 I。我们省略第一句的主词，又因为第一句是主动的语态，所以动词 saw 变成现在分词 seeing， 形成分词构句。Seeing the photo of my family, I thought of my sweet home. 看到我家人的照片，我想起我甜蜜的家。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
All right, everybody, let's continue to summarize our featured novel for today, Holes, by the American author Louis Sachar. Okay, now, so far we've got Stanley Yelnats. He's only 14 years old, but he's been falsely accused of stealing some celebrity baseball sneakers. So he's been sent to serve time at Camp Green Lake, a juvenile correctional facility. The warden makes all of them dig holes. Stanley suspects that the warden wants to find something that is buried in the dirt. And then also, we learned about the curse on Stanley's family here because of Stanley's great-great-grandfather. He did not fill a promise to a gypsy named Madame Zeroni, and then she cursed the whole family up to the present day. The Yelnats family is doomed. They've been cursed by this gypsy by the name of Madame Zeroni, who's probably been dead for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, remember, this is taking place in the town of Green Lake in Texas, the great state of Texas, and the town of Green Lake seems cursed as well. So not just the Yelnats family is cursed, but it seems that the town of Green Lake is cursed as well. Something bad is happening there because of some curse. It was once a town of breathtaking beauty. Breathtaking. It's so beautiful you actually stop breathing because you're afraid your breath might make some noise or something, and you're afraid you might miss something. I guess that's why we say that. So it's just spectacularly beautiful. And that changed, however, after the townspeople found out that a black man, Sam, and a white woman, Catherine, were in love. Okay, so everything was okay. Everything was peachy keen in this town. And then they found out, some black guy is seeing a white woman. And, of course, down south, that was probably very taboo.
Yeah, especially back then, right? So the locals got involved and they interfered in this relationship. They actually told the couple, hey, you two, we don't like it that you're together, and we don't want you to stay together. So here the sentence says the locals forbade the couple to be together and attacked Sam. The guy's name is Sam. So if you forbid someone from doing something, you tell them you absolutely cannot do this. Now, typically, you need to have some sort of authority. I can't just look at Tom and say, I forbid you to eat ice cream again. I have no power over him.
I'll eat it, even if you tell me to. I'll probably eat it just because you say I can't. So there.
Notice that the form of the verb forbid is the past tense, forbade. Yeah, it's irregular, so be careful with that one.
So you guys can't be together, and they not only forbade them to be together, but they attacked Sam, and after Sam was killed, it stopped raining there, and the Green Lake dried up. So, my goodness, they not only attacked Sam, but they also killed him, and as a result of that, it stopped raining. I guess Sam got his revenge in the afterlife. He said, if you're going to kill me and stop me from seeing the woman I love, then I'm going to take away all your rain. And, of course, as you know, down there in Texas, you know, they need the rain there to grow crops and stuff. So that's a pretty bad situation for the town of Green Lake there.
The next sentence goes on to talk about his girlfriend. That's Catherine. It says Catherine's grief led to her becoming an outlaw. Woohoo! She became a criminal, and she started to rob people. When you talk about someone's grief, you're talking about someone's extreme pain, emotional sadness. Usually we use this word specifically when we're talking about someone who is sad and upset and depressed because of a death, maybe of someone in your family or someone close to you. So, of course, Sam was killed, and so she was extremely sad. So she had a lot of grief. You could also say she was grieving. Now, she was so sad and upset that she actually then wanted to maybe get revenge or turned her life around and became a criminal. Now, long ago in the wild, wild west in America, we used to call criminals outlaws. So it has nothing to do with families. I know we talk about people maybe who have a spouse and their parents are in-laws. This has nothing to do with that. An outlaw, spelled this way, is just a criminal, especially in a past time in history.
Yeah, we don't really hear it so much now.
No.
They're criminals, but they're at large. They haven't been caught. They're out there somewhere, like in the Wild West.
Yeah.
So she decided to become an outlaw, and she started to rob people. To rob just means to steal things from people.
Yeah.
And one of her victims was Stanley's great-grandfather, also named Stanley. So this is a victim, somebody who suffers something as a result of a crime or a natural disaster or an accident or something like that. So yes, she robbed somebody, and this person turned out to be Stanley's great-grandfather, whose name was also Stanley. What she did to him was she stole his money, and she was burying it in town. Okay, so she buried it somewhere in town. She got the money or the valuables, and then no one was able to find it. Okay, so I guess sometimes criminals do this. They steal money.
They do.
Or jewelry or something.
They bury it.
And then they bury it somewhere, I guess, so they don't get caught with the evidence. And when the police investigate them and then everything cools down, then sometime in the future they go back and they get that treasure back.
Yeah, and even if they go into prison, sometimes they'll bury it before they get caught so that when they get out of prison, they can be rich. They can have the money. Okay, so in modern day Camp Green Lake, we're back to current times, modern day. Stanley, the young guy, befriends a boy named Zero, and he's Madame Zeroni's great-great-great-grandson. If you befriend someone, it's not befriend, it's befriend. Befriend someone, it just means you become friends with them. You're nice to them. Turns out, Zero's great-great-great-grandmother, did I say that enough times, is Madame Zeroni. So there's a connection there. Now, one day they discover a suitcase or a piece of luggage, you could say, buried in a hole with the name Stanley Yelnats on it. So we know that this used to belong to Stanley's great-grandfather.
Indeed. So there you go. There's the suitcase with the name Stanley Yelnats on it. And I guess that's why they were indeed trying to dig those holes. At least that's why the warden was forcing them to dig those holes.
Yeah.
So the warden tries to claim it. Hey, that's my suitcase. I'm the one who told you to dig for it. So therefore, it's mine. Here we've got the verb to claim. That means you basically state or you say formally that something is the case. You state that you're, say, running for political office or that you're going to marry a certain person. She claims here that, hey, that's mine. I officially claim it as mine. I'm going to talk to a lawyer and I'm going to get it. But then she is stopped by Stanley's lawyer. Okay, it says she is stopped here. So
the
now
warden's a woman.
Yeah, why not? Women can be wardens as well, and women can also be greedy and corrupt as well.
Sure.
So again, she is stopped by Stanley's lawyer, who has proved that Stanley is innocent and frees him from Camp Green Lake. So this is a really fancy-pants, hotshot lawyer who figured out how to get Stanley out of this crime, okay? He was found innocent. Innocent means you did not commit the crime that someone has accused you of doing. You're innocent. The opposite is guilty. I'm innocent. I didn't do it. And therefore, he is freed from Camp Green Lake, and therefore he gets to keep that suitcase full of those valuables.
Good for him. So Stanley, he opens the suitcase and learns it did belong to his great-grandfather. It's filled with valuable items, and it seems that the curse upon his family has finally been lifted. When a curse is lifted, it means that nasty promise or spell that they put on you is gone. It's never going to bother you again. You're going to have good luck again in your life. So that curse is lifted, and so now they've got all these valuable items, and it's going to help the family in the future. I hope it helps poor Stanley, the current modern-day Stanley, the kid who was thrown in prison for being falsely accused of stealing sneakers.
Indeed, that does seem to indicate that justice has been served. So that's a summary of our featured novel Holes for today. And now we're going to listen once again to our Chinese teacher.
接着我们看课文第二段叙述为何 Stanley 以及他的家族会认为他们受到诅咒。同时本段也叙述绿湖镇为何会从美丽的小镇变成沙漠般的小镇。我们看到这一段的第5句 The locals forbade the couple to be together and attacked Sam. 当地人不允许这对情侣在一起，并攻击了山姆。这句有一个常用的动词 forbid， 过去式是 forbade F-O-R-B-A-D-E， 过去分词是 forbidden F-O-R-B-I-D-D-E-N。 forbid 是禁止的意思， forbid somebody to do something， 或者是 forbid somebody from doing something， 就是禁止某人做某事。例如 The professor forbids his students from using cell phones in class。 这位教授禁止学生在课堂上使用手机。动词 ban B-A-N 也有禁止的意思，通常用在法律明文禁止某事，像是 ban somebody from doing something 也是禁止某人做某事的意思。例如 The new law bans people from smoking in public places。 新法律禁止人们在公共场所吸烟。此外，动词 prohibit P-R-O-H-I-B-I-T 也有禁止的意思。 Prohibit somebody from doing something 就是禁止某人做某事。例如 Students are prohibited from bringing knives to school。 学生被禁止携带刀子到学校。我们看到课文的第3段，这段提及 Stanley 在监狱里结交了好友 Zero， 两人一起克服了许多困难，最后找到 Stanley 曾祖父被偷走的宝藏。我们看到这一段的最后一句 It's filled with valuable items, and it seems that the curse upon his family has finally been lifted. 手提箱里装满着贵重的物品，而加诸在他们家族身上的诅咒似乎终于获得解除。本句用了一个句型 It seems that 主词加上动词。动词 seem S-E-E-M 是似乎的意思， It seems that 就是用来表示似乎有某件事情。例如 It seems that Tracy has a massive crush on Ryan。 崔西似乎很迷恋莱恩。这个句型也可替换成主词 seem to 加原形动词，所以刚刚那句也可以改成 Tracy seems to have a massive crush on Ryan。 最后我们看到这句里有一个动词 lift， 在本句里 lift 是解除撤销的意思，像 lift the ban on something 就是指解除对某事物的禁令。例如 The government finally lifted the ban on private visits to China。 政府终于解除私自拜访中国的禁令。以上就是今天的课程，我们下次再会。
That is all for today. Please tune into our program next time, and we're actually going to talk about the author of our featured novel, Holes, a man by the name of Louis Sachar. Okay, let's tune out right now, and you guys can all tune in next time. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.